Just a day after the CDC released disturbing new findings about suicide rates being up about 30% in the U.S., we are now learning yet another high-profile celebrity has committed suicide. This morning, Chef Anthony Bourdain was found dead in his hotel room in France. And this comes on the heels of the apparent suicide of designer Kate Spade on Tuesday. Dr. David Buxton is a psychiatrist with Chippenham and Johnson Willis hospitals. That new report shows those rising trends, very scary. Talk a little bit about maybe why we're seeing some of this.
It's a fact that's unbelievable that we're having in our country right now. One of the things I think that's amazing is that there's a suicide every 16.2 minutes. So it's something that's going on in our country, but unfortunately, other diseases like cancer and other things that we talk about, we don't talk about other mental health issues, including suicide.
Right, so we really need to break the stigma and let people know it's okay to say, I'm feeling down, I'm upset about these things.
That's exactly right. And I think we also can look for warning signs. So when people have major events in their life, like relationship issues, loss of job, financial issues, medical illnesses that are new diagnoses, those are times where people really can be at a vulnerability for suicide.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about what are some of the risk factors that are out there.
Absolutely. So one of the things we know that actually being a male versus a woman is a higher risk factor. We also know if you have firearms in the home, so 50% of completed suicides are actually done by having a firearm. Another risk factor that we know is that individuals that are using substances or are more impulsive. Many of the people that we know that try to complete suicide that don't complete actually feel very much thankful that it didn't happen. But those that don't, we always think it might be an impulsive action in that 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Right, okay. And I think a lot of people assume that it means that there is necessarily a mental health issue, but the findings say that's not necessarily true.
That's correct. Actually, in the CDC study, they showed that 50% of the individuals that completed suicide did not have a mental health diagnosis. One of the issues is so many people don't seek help for their anxiety or depression. They kind of let things go. So it's a little bit hard to figure out those exact numbers, but we do know that for every one person that completes suicide, there's 25 people that attempted. So there's just a much larger portion of our population that's struggling that we don't know about.
Yeah, we really want to be helpful to people today. So for anyone out there who is struggling with this, how can someone go about getting help?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the powers of our country and our world right now is the internet. So people can look online. There's a national suicide number. There's different websites. I think if you're worried about someone, ask the question. I think many people are worried if they ask if someone's going to hurt themselves, that might induce that. And that's not the case. Usually people feel comfortable, they can share it, and you can always just go to the emergency room and talk to someone.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Buxton,
Thank you so much.
And we're going to keep that phone number there on the screen for you throughout the rest of our broadcast.